What's up everyone, and welcome back to a brand new video. Last time, we saw what happened when the group arrived on Namek, and while everything seemed like it would go smooth at first, things kinda took a turn for the worst. Not only are Vegeta and Nappa there, but an entire army has arrived as well. It appears that there's a couple obstacles between them and the Dragon Balls. Like my other recent videos, let's set a like goal for this one, and see if we can hit 3,000 likes. Be sure to drop a like so you can see another part to this scenario. So with that explanation out of the way, let's continue and pick up from here. The last part ended with Frieza's army coming to Namek, interrupting Tien and Yamcha when they saw Vegeta. Vegeta and Nappa noticed this and immediately decided to regroup somewhere else, and they're not really sure what to do now. One of their options is to pretend that they're working with Frieza and they were just here trying to get stuff early, but most likely that's not going to fly. Frieza and all the higher-ups in his army know that Vegeta and Nappa need to be watched, and they're not really ones to be trusted. So they probably won't believe that explanation. Nappa then comes in with some motivation for Vegeta, trying to encourage him, saying that they already are strong enough to fight on their own, and he feels like they could probably pull this off. Sure, Frieza might be an issue, but they can deal with that later. As of now, they're more than enough to take on any member of Frieza's army. Well, except the Ginyu force if they decide to come here. If they work quickly and covertly, they might actually be able to pull this off and get the Dragon Balls for themselves. And instead of splitting up, they decide now they're going to stick together and try to find the rest. And let's actually see how the groups are doing in terms of progress. After some time passes, a lot of the Dragon Balls are claimed. Goku's group with Gohan and Krillin is making the best progress right now. They already have 3 Dragon Balls. Vegeta and Nappa have one for themselves, and Tien and Yamcha also have one. That leaves 2 Dragon Balls left. One in a village somewhere, and one in a Guru's place. Frieza is already spreading his army out across the planet, and they start heading to villages to see what they could do. And there's a similar story for most of the villages. They're either eradicated by Vegeta and Nappa, or the Namekians are there and they said they already gave a Dragon Ball to someone. So not only are Vegeta and Nappa here, but there's a third party apparently. No matter to Frieza, he could probably handle them. In response, he spread his army far around the planet, trying to see who they could find, if anyone. Soon after, this actually ends up working out. The Frieza soldiers have actually located 2 people, Vegeta and Nappa, which subsequently led to them dying. The regular Frieza soldiers aren't going to be able to take on Vegeta and Nappa, so Frieza sends out the big guns, Zarbon and Dodoria, who then quickly arrive at the location, ready to take on Vegeta and Nappa. They don't want to take any chances knowing how strong these 2 are, so they decide first that together, they're going to take on the strongest one, Vegeta. And this strategy works because they are able to take him down, nearly killing him in the process, but keeping him alive so he can be taken to the ship for info. But just as soon as that happened, Nappa had a strategy up his sleeve. He created an artificial moon and became a great ape. He actually does some good damage to Zarbon and Dodoria, and it is hard for them to take him down. Nappa's about to land the finishing blow on both of them, but suddenly he's shot in the back by someone. Frieza has intervened, and with a single blast, he paralyzes Nappa and knocks him down, reverting him to his normal form. He's disappointed that Zarbon and Dodoria needed some help, but no matter. They now can bring the Saiyan to the ship so they can heal them, and then get some info. The thing is, Vegeta and Nappa hid their Dragon Ball already. As far as Frieza's army knows, Vegeta and Nappa don't have any Dragon Balls yet, but they might have some info. But that's not the case. They actually do have one of them hidden somewhere in a lake. And during the time that this was all happening, Frieza was able to get one for himself. So the count right now is Goku having 3, Tien and Yamcha having 1, Frieza having 1, and Vegeta having 1 that's hidden. Speaking of Tien, let's go over to his group for a bit. Him, Yamcha, and Dende. It's a good thing that they stumbled upon Dende, because now Dende is safe, and he actually could take them to Guru where they can find the final Dragon Ball, as well as meeting Nail, who is another strong warrior. Covertly, they're able to fly to Guru's place, and they arrive there safely to meet the Grand Elder Guru. Guru is distressed, seeing what's happening with his planet, but he's glad that these 2 are here, as well as their friends. Not only did they save Dende, but he could tell they're here for a worthy cause, and they could help the planet. Guru gives Tien and Yamcha the Dragon Ball without any questions, but he does have an offer for them. Apparently, he has the ability to unlock people's potential, making them far stronger than before. He first does this with Dende, who then gets the ability to heal people. But of course, Tien and Yamcha get offered it too, and there's no reason for them to not accept it. This will help them greatly in their task of getting the Dragon Balls. So Guru places his hand on their heads, and he unlocks their potential. Now we need to do a bit of calculation here, and we do have a reference, and that is the boost that Krillin and Gohan got in the actual story. When Krillin got his potential unlocked, his boost was about 7.5 times, while Gohan got around a 10 times boost. These numbers may be a little bit inaccurate, because we're using powers from when they fought against the Frieza soldiers in the manga, and numbers from the Daizenshu, but we'll stick with these multipliers since it makes things easier. So even though the humans have Zenkais in this scenario, I'm taking into account their potential, so we'll look at what their multiplier may be based on that. So for Yamcha, I feel like he'd get the same boost that Krillin did. In terms of his potential, I don't see it being any higher than where Krillin's was originally. So he'll get a 7.5 times boost, which puts him up to 105,000 in terms of his power level. And as for Tien, you guys did vote in the first part that he should have higher potential than a normal human, so I'm going to say he gets the same boost as Gohan and gets a 10 times boost, which puts him at a power level of 200,000. That's a pretty big gap between powers. But regardless, both of them are really strong now. Now let's switch back over to Goku's group, which we haven't really covered. They haven't really encountered any action yet, which is good for them. And right now they're heading back to Bulma to store the Dragon Balls, and keep them safe over there. They store the 3 that they have, and then they check the radar to see that there's 2 balls where Tien and Yamcha are, one in the direction of Frieza's army, and one off in the middle of nowhere. And that last one is the one that Vegeta and Nappa hid somewhere in a lake. So they decide to go head over for that because it seems like the safest option for now. They bring that one back to Bulma, and now they have 4 with them, on top of the 2 that Tien and Yamcha have, making 6. So how should they go about getting that last ball? Well, that last ball is about to change hands, because around the same time that this is all happening, Vegeta and Nappa finish their healing and finally wake up. Pretty much like Vegeta did normally, he decides that they're going to create a diversion to escape the ship and steal that Dragon Ball that Frieza has. It's not a hard task for them, and they're able to do it. Creating a distraction, hiding on the ship, and then when Frieza takes the bait, they steal the Dragon Ball and make a run for it. Needless to say, Frieza's pretty ticked off right now, so he decides he's going to call in the Ginyu Force. They should be more than enough to sort this out. As Vegeta and Nappa are escaping, they realize that their ball that they hid in the lake is gone, and they're furious. They know it had to be those Earthlings that went and got it, so they head to where they can send some energy to see if they could find them. Now hopefully you're sticking with me because we're kind of jumping around a lot, but it's all going to come together in a little bit. Back to Tien, Yamcha, and Dende, they're amazed at how strong Guru made them, and they decide to meet up with Goku's group halfway, showing off what Guru was able to do for them. This power's amazing, and they wonder if Guru can give it to those guys as well. Dende decides that he'll take them all to Guru to power them up, while Tien and Yamcha can take the Dragon Balls that they have and head over to Bulma and hide them. So once again, they all split up, as Tien and Yamcha arrive back with the Dragon Balls and give them to Bulma. Now they have 6 and they only need 1 more. Goku, Gohan, and Krillin are busy going to Guru, so Tien and Yamcha decide that they're going to take up the task. It seems like instead of standing still, the last Dragon Ball is moving pretty quickly, and towards their position. The 2 of them try and focus, and then they see what's happening. Vegeta and Nappa have the last ball, and they're heading right for Tien and Yamcha. So those 2 Saiyans have figured it out. They're being pretty annoying, so they're going to just fight them now and get that last ball. While Vegeta and Nappa furiously pursue Tien and Yamcha, they then sense the powers coming towards them. Exactly as planned. They're going to meet halfway, and the 4 of them will fight to the death. Then hopefully Vegeta and Nappa can get their Dragon Balls. Little do they know though, Tien and Yamcha have 6 balls right now, and there's more than just them. There's also Goku, Gohan, Krillin, and Dende, and I guess Bulma, but she's not really important here. As long as she stays safe, that's all that matters. Anyways, they all meet up. And Vegeta and Nappa are pretty confident in their power. They're both way stronger after nearly dying against Zarbon and Dodoria, so they got a noticeable boost from healing. Nappa got the biggest boost because he almost died from Frieza. He's now at a power level of 15,000, while Vegeta's at 30,000. So they're feeling pretty confident right now, and they're prepared to face Tien and Yamcha with everything they've got. Well, bad news for them is that Tien and Yamcha greatly outclass them. They assume a battle stance, and immediately, Yamcha steals the ball without them even noticing. Too fast for them to even notice or process. Tien creates one massive blast of pressurized air, which knocks Vegeta and Nappa far away. How did these 2 Earthlings get so strong? It's gotta be a fluke, so Vegeta and Nappa get back up, and they decide to attack. Finally, the 4 of them can settle the score. And just as they're about to clash, they sense something crazy approaching. The Ginyu Force. Tien and Yamcha are stunned to sense this, but they might actually be enough to take on the squad. Vegeta and Nappa are terrified of the Ginyu Force, and they're kind of in an enemy of my enemy situation. Tien and Yamcha don't want to needlessly kill these 2, and they make it clear that they all have a common enemy. Vegeta and Nappa realize that they don't really have any choice. They either die to Tien and Yamcha, die to the Ginyu Force, die to Frieza, or team up with Tien and Yamcha and have a chance at survival. So they're going to have to swallow their pride, and they'll temporarily join the 2 humans in order to take on the Ginyu Force. The Ginyu Force's ships land as the group heads over to that location. All the while, Frieza has been very busy. He's heading over to Guru's palace right now after detecting a couple of high powers there, and they may be able to give him some answers. In the meantime, Guru has already unlocked the potentials for Goku, Krillin, and Gohan. I used similar multipliers, giving Krillin a 7.5 times boost, giving Gohan his 10 times boost that he originally got, and giving Goku a 9 times boost, a little bit lower than Gohan but still higher than Krillin, which puts Goku at 153,000, Krillin at 120,000, and Gohan at 140,000. But But on the bad side, Guru's life is rapidly draining. And even worse, everyone senses Frieza approaching, not wanting Gohan to get hurt, as well as wanting to escort Dende somewhere. Goku tells Gohan to leave with Dende and bring him to Tien and Yamcha to get the last Dragon Ball. That'll keep them safe and allow them to make the wish. They covertly leave, not being noticed by Frieza, as Krillin and Goku are joined by Nail to face off against First Form Frieza. Two massive battles are about to begin, and on the other side of the planet, the Ginyu force is here facing off against Vegeta's group. Immediately, Nappa goes grade 8, giving him a massive boost in power, which would put him at around 150,000 for his power level, which is incredibly strong. They're able to take on some of the weaker fighters. Goldo, Jace, and Burter are eliminated almost immediately by Tien and Yamcha with the help of Nappa. Vegeta's kinda outclassed here when you think about it. Without a tail, he's kind of at a disadvantage. And that's a good thing for Nappa because he was weaker than Vegeta in base form, but with the tail he has the Great Ape, which really helps him out here. Angered, he tries to take on Recoome himself, and is able to take him down with the help of Yamcha. And now that only leaves Ginyu. In an odd turn of events, Ginyu puts his hand through his own chest, creating a deadly wound in the process. Everyone's confused, but Vegeta immediately knows what this is. He's heard rumors of this technique. Ginyu's about to swap bodies, and he does so with Tien, kinda like he did with Goku. After a flash of light, something's changed. Yamcha looks over at one of his closest friends, and he can immediately tell something's wrong. Ginyu has stolen Tien's body, while Tien is currently in Ginyu's body dying out. They have no choice to face Ginyu in Tien's body, and it's tough, but the three of them together are able to take him on, trying not to kill him in the process. And just as they defeat him, he smirks, ready to do his body change once again. He aims this time at Yamcha, and yells for his body to change now. A beam of light comes from his mouth, and Tien sees this as the perfect opportunity. He's still alive, but barely, and jumps in front of the beam and gets his body back. The issue here now is both of them are dying out. For Ginyu, that's easy. Vegeta just looks at him and fires a blast, killing him off. You know, it's kinda small, but it's the little victories that count for him. But as for Tien, they're not really sure what to do now. Thankfully, help has arrived, in the form of Gohan and Dende. They're immediately on guard when they see Vegeta and Nappa, but then everything gets explained to them. Tien is dying right now, but Dende is able to heal him, as well as everyone else who got hurt in the fight, which means more power boosts. And I don't really know why, but in the Ginyu saga, there were a really high power boost after Goku got hurt. Like, Goku's power increased about 33.3 times, which is just an insane number for a power boost. Since Tien nearly died here, he'd probably get that same boost, and we'll just say a 12 times boost for everyone else to keep it reasonable. That's still pretty high, but at least it's lower than 33 times. Power levels right now would be Tien at 6.7 million, Yamcha at 1.3 million, Vegeta at 360,000, and Nappa at 180,000. They are incredibly powerful right now, but there's still a huge issue. Guru is dying right now, and Frieza's fighting Goku's group, so they need to act quick. Vegeta wants them to wish for immortality for him, but first they have a better idea for another wish. They'll revive Piccolo first, which will bring the Dragon Balls back on Earth, and then they could wish to bring him here because he's probably a lot stronger right now. And with the third wish, they're gonna bring back Chaozu. Sorry Vegeta, but you're not getting your wish. They summon Piranga, which Frieza notices immediately, causing him to depart from the middle of the battle that he's already in, because he sees no point in finishing it. Quickly, they revive Piccolo, and then make another wish to bring him to Namek. Frieza's approaching quickly, but suddenly, Piranga disappears from the sky. With all the stress that Guru's facing, he died before they can make the final wish. And now, Piranga's gone. Thinking they used up all the wishes, Frieza gets angrier seeing it disappear, and goes full speed over to the other side of the planet. The group notices Frieza approaching, and now that they're healed, they decide to send Gohan and Dende back to Goku, since they're probably in trouble as well. Yep, they're jumping back and forth again. But it is the safest option right now. Gohan escorts Dende back to where Goku is, and they keep a low profile so they aren't detected by Frieza. While Frieza's heading for Vegeta's group, and Gohan's heading for Goku's group, another person arrives on Namek, Piccolo. Immediately, he takes it all in. He's on his home planet. This is what it looks like. But this is no time for being sentimental. He senses a power near him and decides to head towards it, realizing that it's Goku, Krillin, and then someone else. Nearly unconscious, Goku, Krillin, and Nail are lying on the ground when they see Piccolo approaching. Nail's glad to see another Namekian is still alive, and this one seems like a warrior. And then he comes to the realization that he's with those two people that he was just fighting with. Goku asks Piccolo to take them all to Dende, so they can regroup with the others as well as getting healed. But Nail declines this. He tells Piccolo he has another idea in mind, Namekian fusion. Nail got the worst of the beating, and he could tell that he's not going to make it, so he wants Piccolo to fuse with him. Naturally, Piccolo's pretty wary, but he decides to do it. and the result is pretty amazing. Sadly, Nail's no longer around, but this is good for everyone else because now Piccolo is way stronger than before. Plus, he has all of his training from King Kai. He didn't have too much time to train with King Kai, but he still got some of it in. And he focused on learning a couple of new techniques. He was able to actually learn Kaioken, and right now he's able to push it up to about times 10. And if he stresses, he can go a little bit higher to times 20. He does have issues with stamina, of course, like anyone would have with Kaioken, but Piccolo doesn't need to worry about destroying his body because he can keep regenerating. The issue is, though, it still does drain his stamina heavily. But at least he can actually use times 20 Kaioken without his body basically exploding from the inside out. And on top of that, he was able to pick up a few other things. And after fusing with Nail, his power level is a massive 2 million. Goku and Krillin are really glad that he's here, and they're about to head off, but then, they actually see Dende and Gohan heading towards them. They're confused as to where Nail went, but it's all explained to them and they realize that Piccolo's here and a lot stronger than before. After they're healed, they get a similar 33.3 times boost since they nearly died, so Krillin is at a power of 3.6 million and Goku's at 5.3 million. Things are starting to look up, and they could finally head towards the group. However, Frieza's arrived at the location of Tien's group and he's pissed, ready to take them out. But this part's kinda stretching out a bit long, so we're gonna end off here for now. How do you think the battle with Frieza will go? Will they be able to take him down at all? Leave your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below, and I'll make sure to read them to see what you guys think. Anyways, if you liked the video, be sure to drop a like, and let's try to hit our like goal. And if you haven't already, why not subscribe, as well as hitting the bell icon to get notified about any future parts of this scenario, or any other videos that I upload on my channel. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on my next video.